HiyaHiya knitters. Since it's almost Christmas, I thought I would do one last Christmassy video for you. Just an idea to give your Christmas presents a little extra decoration, especially if you are a knitting mad household. I'm going to show you how to make one for a small size box, but you can easily make this bigger, smaller to suit your needs. This one I knitted in Amaranthus, and this is a lovely yarn by Mulberry Yarns. I've actually knitted a headband before in this, and the mix of shades and just the feel of it is so soft, and it's such a nice yarn to knit with. We actually bought Rivington with it at the same time. Thought this would be a great yarn to work with to make one last little Christmassy video for 2019. To make this, I am going to be using HiyaHiya steel interchangeable. So they're my tips. I'm going to use a 16-18 inch cable. Now the difference between the 16 and 18 inch is dependent on the tips that you're using. So if I was to use a 5 inch tip, it would be 18 inches from tip to tip. But because I'm using 4 inch tips, this is going to be a 16 inch circular cable. Something to bear in mind with when you're adding to your collection. So I will put a little video how to use our interchangeables and little tips and tricks. That will be up to the right. But I'll just do a quick how to put these together for anyone who doesn't want to flick over. By all means, please do, I'll get my views up. For now, it's quite simple. You want to make sure you're always holding the metal part. Screw on loosely, so until that little gold bit goes. So about there. And then you want to take your grips. Always use grips, because without these it will come undone and it gets very fiddly whilst knitting. So grab one there, and then you want to use your other one to grab below that join and just tighten it. Don't need to go too far, if not you might snap it. If you're using bamboo interchangeables, it's very important that you hold it by the metal parts when you're doing the grips, because this is how you can snap bamboo needles. Ours are resin injected, so they are pretty solid, but if you mishandle anything it will break. So just go tighten that one, and your grips, and now we're good to go. Anyone who hasn't used these before, I'm sure our subscribers know HiyaHiya by now and what our standard of interchangeable needles are, but something I love about this is that these cables rotate, so they're not fixed in place. So it actually alleviates strain on your wrists as you're knitting, because you're not having, it's not curling as you go, it works with you. And something a few people have wrong us, which thank you for noticing, sorry that we didn't give you a bigger heads up. All our cables now have got a longer flat part here. So if you've ordered any, you might get some of the older stock, which still has the short plastic bit here. But I'm trying to show you as best I can. Usually there's like a little flat part just here. That helps hold your stitches, and it helps keep the cable steady whilst your needles rotate around. Our manufacturer has improved this by making that longer. So it holds more of your work and it helps it work better. So if you notice, don't worry, they're not faulty. It is part of the new design. So they're the interchangeables. Just going for a short one today. To start, I'm going to cast on 60 stitches. Now this pattern is repeats of 3. So if you want to make it longer, multiply, add on in 3s basically. I'm not going to do long tail cast on, because that's going to be a bit too stretchy. And the previous one I have made with it, it kind of went a little bit bumpy and a little bit off. So I'm going to go with good old classic, which I haven't done in ages, so bear with me. I'll put a video to how to cast on in 2 ways in the top right. This one I made, it's a knit 2 purl 2 rib stitch all the way around, but this one I'm going to do a slightly different form of rib stitch. yes, I'm using circulars, but we're not knitting in the round for this. It's habit for me to use circulars whilst I'm knitting at this table or at my desk, simply because our straight needles are too long for me without hitting this every few minutes. And I think it's now just become a habit where I'm more comfortable this way. So this pattern is knit 2, purl 1 all the way around. Okay, so on the reverse, done that way. So going back, we want to keep up that rib stitch pattern. So going back, it's going to be knit 1, purl 2, and repeat to the end. And it's this pattern that you're going to repeat until the band is as wide as you need it to be. So I'm going to do probably just under an inch. But for bigger parcels, of course, you can cast on more stitches, make this longer. Smaller parcels, like this one, should be a fairly quick knit. So some of you may have noticed, if you've watched a few of our videos now, I'm shooting this at a different angle this week. I'm just trying it out. I'm about to film a bunch of videos in one go, so the next few weeks are all going to look like this. I've had a bit of feedback from people that they'd like to actually see more over my shoulder what I'm doing, because it'd be easier to learn from it or easier to see. So just giving this a go for, I think it'll be the next 4 or 5 videos. Any feedback on that would be great if you prefer it this way or not. But yeah, what have your favourite Christmas knitting projects been? By all means, use the comments below to share what you've made. Right, so you don't have to be this precise with it, but just in case you do, also a chance to show you another item, the HiyaHiya tape measure. Simple, fully retractable tape measure. So I said I wanted to do about an inch, gone a little bit over. Obviously for larger boxes I'd make these about, I've done about 3-inch ones in the past. This should do nicely. So now you want to cast off. As I did quite a simple cast on, it's left me quite a frilly, almost, not lacy, but I'll show you a bit better there, more of a frilly edge. So I'm going to cast off, just basic cast off. I'm now going to use my trusty puppy snips. Little scissors that also double as a keychain, or a keychain that doubles as scissors. You can attach this to your bag. It can attach to HiyaHiya accessory bags, or just pop in your keyring. Now for this, we're going to need a little bit of a tail, because we're going to be sewing these ends up. Not too much, so okay, that over there. And then going to be using HiyaHiya Darnit darning needle. Now this is the excellent thing, if you've knitted it too large, this is when you can sew it as tight as you need. So there's going to be a little bit of overlap just there. So take that off. Lovely. That frame, there we go. Cool. So I'm going this way and just want to sew it up. So it was there, so it's one repeat of the pattern, overlap. But then you can make these to whatever size you want or you need. And these don't just have to be for Christmas. You can make them for birthday presents too. And if you make them for larger presents, if you get your sizing right, it can also double as a headband, as I found out when my husband thought it was that and popped it on. It looked good. Suited. There you go. It's only a little something, just a nice little decoration to add to things, give it that extra touch, and obviously it'll be a dead giveaway who it's from if you are the known knitter of the family. Or even better if you've got a family full of knitters. Nice little gift. Yeah! Bit too much, maybe. As usual, please comment below. Any feedback about this project, any future projects you think I should do, what I should be doing in the new year. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'll be putting up videos every week, different projects that I found online that I'm attempting to knit, reviews of our products. It'll be the first place to go when we have new products as well. And until next time, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy Knitting!